من أعراض الإصابة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أعزائي مشاهدي ومشاهدات قناة المعرفة التعليمية، مواصلة لسلسلة حلقاتنا التعليمية لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية لتلاميذ وتلميذات الصف الثامن لمرحلة الأساس. نواصل اليوم ما انقطع من دروس في منهج الصف الثامن. My dear pupils, hello again. Continuing our English language lessons. Last time we had our lessons about how do people send messages, right? And we have known that people communicate or send messages through several means, through telephone, postcards, telegrams, and letters. Our lesson for today is writing a letter to a friend, and it's one of the very important writing to develop your writing skill as you write a letter and to see how is letter written in English language. And also, I always remind you, my dear pupils, to bring and prepare your course book with you when you attend our English lesson, because at the end of every lesson there is an activity or exercise. You should do it. And today our lesson is, I'm sure that you have prepared your course book and your notebook as well, in addition to your pen or pencil. Our lesson today is Unit 2, Writing a Letter to a Friend, Lesson 6, as you see on the board. That is on page 29. Okay, have you opened your book? Okay, you can follow, right, me from on the board here first, and we can go back later to your book. Now, all right, let's study. Okay, we okay. Right. Okay. Now look at your book before we come to this activity. Open page 29. Have you opened your book now? That's good. Sure that you have prepared your book with your notebook and your pen or pencil. You see in activity A, there is a format of a letter or a shape of a letter and the components of a letter. What is a letter composed or consist of? Look at this. Study this format of a letter. This is the way how do people write letters in English language generally. We have A. Try to read it. What should be written on this part of a letter? On the top right corner of your paper, you find what? A. Try to read it. The first letter is S. Yeah, S, sender's address. The person who is going to write a letter to someone else, he should write his address on the top right corner, on the first line on the paper, right? Beneath it, directly, immediately, or under it, there is B. After the sender's address, you find what? A date. At what time or when do you write your letter? You should state it under the address immediately. And then you come down again, a line, but you go to the left side of a paper. You find C. What is in C? Here you write the name of a person that you are writing to. But before that you write dear plus name. Dear Omar, dear Ahmed, dear Mahasin, dear Salwa, right? These names are the people that whom you are going to write a letter to. After that, you come to the fourth part of the letter, which is the very important, right? And it is the topic or the issue of the letter. What are you writing about on your letter? What are you telling the person that you are writing to? This should be on D part. Look at D, which we call it the main body. The main body. The issue of the letter. The topic of the letter. The purpose of a letter that you are writing to someone. And you can finish or conclude your letter by these two items. On the bottom right corner of your page, you find E. Try to read it. This expression. This is what you wish to the person that you are writing to. You can say best wishes, right? And finally, you sign your name or you write your name, which is in the last part of the letter. This is the end of your letter. Have a look again. Let's revise them one by one. For example, A. What's A? All of you, look at it. A. The top right corner of your paper, you find sender's address. Who is sender's address? The person that who is writing the letter, right? This is his paper, and he is having his pen. The first thing he should do is to write his address on the top right corner, as in A here, right? Beneath it, directly, you find B, where he should write the date. What time is he writing this letter, or what time is this letter written? And you go line down, but this time you move to the left part of the paper. and you find C. Look at C. Can you see it? Yeah. Try to read it. Here, you are addressing the person that you are writing to by writing what? Dear Fulan. Dear Asma. Dear Uthman. Right? And then you start your letter on these lines. And these lines, we call them the main body of the letter, the main issue, the main topic of the letter, and the purpose of that why you are writing this letter. You are telling news, you are asking for something, you are requesting, you are thanking, right? All this, you can put them or write them in this part of your paper. And you move down to the bottom of the bottom right corner of your page. You find in E, try to read it. You write what? Yeah, best wishes. Best wishes that you hope. Good luck and best wishes to the person that you are writing to. And at last, you find F, and here, the writer's name. Look, the sender's address is on the top right corner, right? And the sender's name on the bottom down right corner. Here, and the person who is receiving the letter is on the left, right? Dear Filan. But the person who is writing the letter, he should write his address on the top right corner and the date beneath it. And on the last part of the paper, the bottom right corner of the page, he signs his name. So it's clear that the writer's name and the writer's address should be on the right part of our paper. But on the top, we find his address, the person who writes the letter, right? And on the bottom, he should write his name. But the person who is receiving the letter, whom we are sending the letter to, we find his name on the left part of the paper, starting the letter by Dear Filan. Okay? Have a look at this format. We have some activity here for you. And it's on your book also, if you have opened it now, to match it, okay? Let's see it. Yeah, writer's name. Where is it here? Which letter? We have A, B, C, D, E, F. Have your time to find it. Have you found it? It's good. What is it? What is it of this? Let's check it. That is F. Let's go to F. Where is F? Here it is writer's name. And where is it on the paper? Right? On the bottom right corner of the paper. Right? Let's hear the next. The main body of our letter. Which letter is there? Have you found it? Yeah, that's good. Let's check it as well. That is D, and you find it here. The main body of a letter, and which is the very important part of the letter, the issue of the letter, the topic of the letter. It consists of several lines. You can write 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, but these are only 1 or 2 lines, the other parts of a letter. You see, your address here may be 2 or 3 lines, but the date only in 1 line. Dear Fulan, only in 1 line. Best wishes, only in 1 line. And the writer's name, only in 1 line. But the main body should be in several lines because it is the topic of the letter. Number 3, let's come to number 3, which is the writer's address. Writer's address. Where can we find this in a letter? Where is it? The address on the top right corner of your paper, which is the sender's address, because the writer's address is the person who sends, right, the letter. So his address, here is the writer's address or sender's address, as in A. Let's move to the next part. Date. And where do people usually write dates when they write letters? In which part of the paper? Is it on the top left corner of the paper, right? Or on the bottom down corner, bottom left corner of the paper, or where? In the middle of the paper? Where is it? Date, which is here, right? Beneath the writer's or sender's address immediately, which is, that is B. Let's move to number 5, best wishes, right? Usually this expression, right, written at the end of our letters, right? Which one here? And where is it? Have a look very quickly. Is it on the left top, the right top? Where? Left bottom, right bottom? Have you found it? Yeah, that's good. Let's check it together. That is A, here, best wishes. Okay, let's move to something else. So here, this activity on your book also, you can follow me. Write a letter to your friend Tom in England, inviting him to visit you during your next summer holiday. Let's read these instructions again, and you can follow me as well on your books. C. Write a letter to your friend Tom in England, inviting him to visit you during your next summer holiday. Let's say you are expected to write a letter to your friend Tom. And where is he from? This Tom. He's from England, right? And a person from England, we call him an Englishman, right? We call him English. English, right? This is the adjective we use for the person who is from England. And when you write a letter to a friend, you have an idea about the format of the shape of a letter that on the top right corner, imagine that you are Muhammad, right? Here you write your address on the top right corner. For example, Muhammad Ali, right here, and P.O. Box. This is your address here, 15 Al-Nuhud Street, Al-Ubaid, and immediately here you write what? You write the date, okay? And you write your letter on the other lines, and at the end, before you write it, you write dear. Dear who? Who is your friend in England? That's Tom. You write dear Tom, right? And you invite him to come to our country to visit you in Sudan when you expect him to visit you your next holiday, right? And you can end your letter by writing best wishes or see you soon, or I am looking forward to seeing you soon, and you sign your name or you write your name at the end of the letter on the right part. Okay, let's see writing a letter to a friend. This part, you can read this. Have your time to read it, and I'm going to read it for you as well. Here on the top right corner of this letter, we find 15 Park Street, Leeds, England, right? This is the street where the writer of this letter lives or works, right? Which is a small place. Then we come down to write the city where is that 15 Park Street, which is Leeds. And we come down again to the country where that town in, which is England. So we start by writing from the smallest addresses, for smallest things, to the biggest, right? For example, if you live here in Burri, right? You start Burri, المعرفة Street, okay? And you write here Khartoum, and you write here Sudan, okay? If, for example, you live in Al-Gadarif, for example, you say write Al-Gadarif, Al-Maidan Street, Al-Gadarif, and Sudan. So we end our addresses by writing the country. We start from the small to the big. And beneath it immediately we find what? 15th of September 1975, which is what? This is the date. Where was this letter written? This letter was written on the 15th of September 1975. This top right corner part, which is very important in writing letters, you find the writer's address, which is the street, which was 15 Park Street, and then the city, we find Leeds, and then we find the country, the last step of the address. And beneath it immediately, we find the date. Where was this letter written? It was written on the 15th of September 1975. These are two parts of the components of our component of a letter on the top right corner. And then we come down a line, as you see here, and we go to the left part of the paper to write the receiver's name, right? The person that we are writing to. But before that, we should write dear Filan, okay? Here, what is written? Dear Muhammad, right? So, Muhammad is the person who is going to receive a letter, right? Who is going to receive or get a letter. And let's go to this very important part. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 lines, right? This is the main body, the issue, the topic of the letter, right? The purpose, the reason why this letter was written here in this part, in these 5 lines. Let's read it together. You can follow having your books with you as well. Thank you very much for your letter. So this person who is writing this letter to Muhammad had already received a letter from Muhammad, and this is a reply letter because he thanked him for the letter by saying what? Thank you very much for your letter. I really enjoyed my holiday in Sudan. I had such a good time visiting very interesting places. I met very nice and friendly people. I went on a very enjoyable trip by steamer. Also, I visited some historical places. I traveled by bus. It was a long but comfortable journey. I shall never forget the beautiful green forests in southern Sudan. I intend to spend my next holiday in eastern Sudan. Best wishes, yours, Tom. Okay, now let's go back, right, to this letter. We have some maybe new words we have here. Okay, I went on a very enjoyable trip by steamer. Yeah, a steamer is a small ship and big boat, right? People use it to travel on water, right? Not a ship and not a boat, right? It's big boat, a small ship, which is a steamer. And said, I visited some historical places, right? Here in Khartoum, there are so many historical places, right? Like Khartoum Palace, it's the National Museum. These are we call historical places. And so here, comfortable, right, which is relaxed and good. Okay. Intend. He said what? I intend to spend my next holiday in Eastern Sudan, right? Intend, that means you'd like to have something done, right? You wish, you hope, you want something, right? And he ends his letter by writing, best wishes, yours, Tom. So read this letter again because we have some questions for you to answer. Yes, question word, which is WHO, which is who. And we remember that who is a question word used for asking about what? About people, right? When we'd like to know a person's name, we use the WHO question word who. So from the question word, we can get the answer easily. When who, that you are looking for a person. Who sent the letter? And sent is the past tense of send. Sent is the past of send. So this question is in the past simple. So our answer should be in the past simple as well. And who sent the letter? Who sent the letter? Tom did, if you remember, right? You can go back using your book with you. Okay, Tom did. And what is his address? What is his address? Which is 15 Park Street, right? And then the city where this street, which is in Leeds. And where is Leeds? It's in England. Yeah, this is the address. And when, number 3, when did he write the letter? Right, this is the time when this letter was written, and when we would like to answer such a question, we look immediately beneath or under the address. We get the time of writing the letter. When is a question word used to asking for time. So when did he write the letter? That was on the 15th of September 1975. Right? When did he write the letter? That was on the 15th of September 1975. And question number 4, where did he spend his holiday? Right? And where is the question word for asking about places, right? And did is a word or indicator or helping verb in the past simple. So when we come to answer such a question, our answer should be in the past. And the verb here is spent is infinitive. And there is did in our question. So our answer should be in past simple, and the verb infinitive should be here in the answer in the past form. Can you do it? Try to do it. Have your time. Have you tried? Okay, let's do it together. Where did he spend his holiday? In the answer we say what? He spent his holiday. Where? Then you write The place where did he spend his holiday? He spent his holiday in Sudan. He spent his holiday in Sudan. And question number 5, how did he travel to historical places? How did he travel to historical places? Right? He traveled by bus. He traveled by bus. You see, how did he travel? Here the verb infinitive. And did is an auxiliary verb for the past simple. But when we come to answer such a question, we use the form of the past tense of the infinitive here in the answer, because there is did in the question. How did he travel to historical places? We say he traveled by bus. And let's go to the last question, 6. Did he enjoy his holiday in Sudan? Did he enjoy his holiday in Sudan? Yes, of course he did. How do we know that he enjoyed his holiday in Sudan? How? Because he said, I intend to go there again next holiday. Right, okay? Now, here, this is the same letter. Complete this letter. This is for you, my dear pupils, to do it and to develop your writing skill, writing letters. Okay, here, this is your address. You should write your address here on the top right corner of the page. And we know that we start from the very simple thing to the bigger and bigger. So if you live in a district or in a small area, you start writing it on the top. And then you move down to write the town where you live in. And then you come down again to write the country, your country, which is our country, Sudan. Okay, you got it? We start the date by your P.O. box or your street, your district or your area, then move to your city or your town, and then country. And then you move to the left part of the paper, you write Dear Filan. You write the name of a person that who you are going to write to. And you write your body of the letter, like thank you for what, and what you like what and what. And what you don't like, you said, I don't like tennis. And what about you asking your friend, right? What does he like or what doesn't he like also? And you finish your letter by writing best what? You remember? Best, yeah, best wishes. And yours. And here you write your name. So, usually we're writing a letter, right? You write, this is, we call it informal letters or friendly letters, right? We have two types of letters. We have formal and informal, right? Informal or official, other type of letters. You start your letter on the top right corner by writing the address, and then you move down to write the date, the time which you are writing your letter. And then you move down a line, but you go to the left side of a paper. You write Dear Filan. And you come to the body of your letter, the topic of your letter, you write it in several lines as you can see now. And you end it by writing best, which is yours, and you write your name. So your address on the top right corner, and your name is in the bottom right corner, right? The receiver's letter, the person who is receiving the letter, whom you are addressing or writing to, you usually write his or her name on the left part of the paper above the main body of your letter. So, my dear pupils, this time for you to complete this letter, right? And you can check your answers by giving it to your elder brother or sister, or your parents can help you as well because you are staying at home and watching our lessons on TV. And I do appreciate the great efforts that has been exerted by our dear colleagues in our different schools. Really, they have been exerting great efforts to help you, my dear pupils, to prepare you, my dear pupils, to develop your English language skills as well. Okay, I think by now we have come to the end of our lesson for today. I hope you every success. I hope you enjoyed it much. I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much and goodbye, my dear pupils.